Hello, my name is Michelle Urbina Corona, and I'm going to be covering an action plan that I created to help you successfully complete CALTPA Cycle 1 and 2 without procrastinating. Before you watch this whole video, it would be a good idea to print out the CALTPA Cycle Performance Assessment Guide and templates because I will be referring to each of them, and I will not go into detail. So you need to already have background knowledge of what each of them are and what they entail. So I want to show you just really quick. These are all the templates you'll be using for both Cycle 1 and 2, and this is what the guide looks like. Okay. So throughout the video, we'll be mentioning my experience with the CALTPA Cycle 1 and 2, and I want you to have a little bit of background knowledge about me. So I'm a first-time mom, and when I started student teaching in January of 2018, my son was 3 months old. I was also completing my master's at the time, so I had schoolwork for that, and I had schoolwork for the classes that I was taking while doing my student teaching at Cal Poly. As college students and just students in general, I think the biggest issue is procrastination. And with the CALTPA Cycle 1 and 2, I can personally say that although I had a lot going on, I could have definitely managed my time better, so I didn't have to procrastinate, or so I wouldn't procrastinated. So of course with procrastination comes stress and little sleep and then worrying, and you're just all over the place. So these are the benefits of time management. They reduce your stress level, they help you remain focused on a task. So instead of trying to get a million tasks done at one time, you are just simply focused on one task, and you are able to finish that one task before moving on to the next task. So it helps you meet your goals. It gives you a sense of achievement, and you have more time to sleep well, eat right, and exercise regularly. So some tips for time management. I have boxed in yellow the key ones I think are important for you to know or to practice during the CALTPA cycle. The first ones are use a calendar or an organizer and know your deadlines. So use a calendar. It's very important, and I have a calendar here for you. So January 8th was the first day of my student teaching. March 5th was the deadline for Cycle 1, and April 2nd was the deadline for Cycle 2. Now we were given an additional deadline. If we didn't complete Cycle 1 by the March 5th deadline, then all of our Cycle 1 and Cycle 2 materials had to be turned in on or April 16th. So focus and block out distractions. So one thing I wish I would have done is turn off my cell phone or put it on silent and not go on social media. I know sometimes we go on social media and we're like, oh yeah, we'll just look at this post or we'll read this really quick, and then 10 minutes later we're still on our phone. So definitely turning off our cell phone or putting it on silent and having it away from our desk would have definitely helped me focus better. And prioritize. So this is one thing that's really big with me. I am a big people pleaser, so I like to take on a lot of tasks at once. And if I would have prioritized and learned to say no to certain tasks, then I would have been able to complete my Cycle 1 and 2 without procrastinating and waiting, to the last minute to complete everything. Couple more tips. Create an action plan. So that's what I've done for you already. So here on the calendar, I marked week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 9 for you to refer back. So action plan, here we go. So first week of student teaching, one thing that you want to do is meet with the principal, introduce yourself, explain the TPA cycle. You don't have to go into detail, just very general information so that they are aware that you're going to be recording and so that you can get the permission slips approved. Obviously, you'll be meeting with your master teacher. A few things to do on your first week of student teaching is to find out what units they have taught already. What material have the students been introduced and have done so that you don't repeat the same thing, and lose their engagement. Find out what unit they're on, and meet any supporting staff. So maybe the front office staff or the custodian or any other staff that might be important to your student teaching. And check out the equipment room. So that was the big one for me. Checking out the equipment room, exploring through their equipment so that I could plan an effective lesson. And really, you want to know what equipment they have available so that you can plan. Because if you create a lesson plan and then you go and find out that you don't have that equipment, then you can't really teach that lesson, can you? So going through the equipment rooms is an important thing to do. And then if you haven't done so already, please print the CALTPA cycle materials handbook and templates. And every week review the rubrics so that you know what is expected of you when you turn in when you complete each template. Second week of student teaching, you will be observing your master teacher, learn their classroom management, what routines, procedures they have in place, and what expectations they set for their students. So one thing you don't want to do is go in and change everything. I think it just creates more work for you. And if anything, you can add on to what they already have in place. So the students, keep in mind the students have been in the classroom with them for half a year and you're going in for the other half of the year, and so they already have something in place. And if it works well, I would advise you to not mess with it. Just add on to it, because remember, you do have the cycles to complete and you don't want to add more stress to your day or to your life. And get to know the students, because you will be completing a getting to know students template, and you will be filling that out as well. So one thing I did was pass out an all about me worksheet to the students on the second week of student teaching, and find out how many IEPs and English language learners you have in your school, and in your class and in your school, so you can complete those worksheets as well. Let me just show you really quick what that worksheet looks like, what that template looks like. So this is a template. Make sure you start filling this out on week 3. On week 2, and upload by week 3. So continue updating your template and upload onto Pearson. So week 3, your lesson plan should be finalized and uploaded onto Pearson. Complete lesson plan rationale and upload onto Pearson. So by week 3 of student teaching, you should already have a lesson plan. You should already have your lesson plan rationale finished and uploaded. And I will show you what those templates look like. So for the lesson plan, you will choose your own template, but for lesson plan rationale, one is provided for you. Okay, so complete those, upload them onto Pearson. The fourth week of student teaching. Teach the lesson you plan to record prior to recording. That's optional, but I know that was a big help for me. So because I was introducing a new lesson that the students, or a new activity that the students hadn't seen before, I wanted to make sure that they understood what was expected of them and that they were able to perform the activity. So I did teach a day before I recorded. So on your 4th week of student teaching, you will record your lesson. You will review your lesson recording. You will view it. And then you will select 3 video clips that show the following: expectation for student learning being set, student activities and instructional strategies, and the 3rd video clip will show next steps for learning. Upload those clips onto your Pearson account and annotate them by the end of week 4. Moving on to week 5. Review your rubrics. Every week review your rubrics so that you know you are completing the rubric, you're meeting everything that is expected, and you do well on your CALTPA cycle. Complete the reflect and apply templates and upload them onto Pearson. So every week you should be uploading stuff onto Pearson. You don't want to, one thing that happened to me was I was trying to upload all these templates up at once and the system crashed. And they were nice enough that they let us turn in, they extended the deadline, but it might not be the case for you. So make sure you're uploading those templates weekly. Once they're completed, of course. So reflection, here's that for you, and application. Okay, moving on to the 6th week. So on the 6th week of student teaching, review all your materials on Pearson website and make any necessary changes. Then submit cycle 1. So let's go back to our calendar and look at the 6th week. This is the 6th week. So by this time you should have your CALTPA templates finished and ready to submit. Okay? So notice, you still have 1-2 weeks before the deadline. So if all fails and for whatever reason it pours on you, meaning you have a lot of things going on that keep you from completing the CALTPA cycle, or you were unable to record, or whatever happens, you still have 2 weeks to record and complete all of the templates. Warning, obviously, procrastinating can cause serious health problems such as stress, losing sleep, among other health issues. So I would not recommend this route, but if it is the only one you have, then just remember to meet your deadline. CALTPA Cycle 2.